Hey guys, so today is Sunday and I decided I would just do a random vlog. So I just finished grocery shopping. I went to Sprouts and King Soopers, and yeah, I will show you guys everything that I got for my little grocery haul. I was gonna get my nails done too, but I figured I could go another week. You know, when you do like the nude looks, you don't have to go quite as often. I can stretch it out to 3 weeks instead of the usual 2. So yeah, they still look good. All this stuff in the house in 2 trips. I was not playing around. So first of all, I got all of this for about $100. I got all of the produce from Sprouts, and I got everything else pretty much from King Soopers. People think Sprouts is expensive. It is really not. You see, I got all of this produce. And I think, oh, and I got the cashews from Sprouts too. And I think I might have spent like $50 in Sprouts. And then the rest of the stuff I got all from King Soopers. The dye I only got because it was on sale. It's usually pretty expensive. I got some potatoes. Oh, I also got the tofu from Sprouts. And yeah, I got a good amount of stuff. Got some snacks for Babe. And, well, for me too. But, you know, mostly him. So yeah, all this for about $100. So I'm about to make some country fried steaks for dinner, and I'm gonna try and show you guys like the entire recipe if I can, but I'm recording on my phone by myself, so bear with me. But what I'm gonna be using: Vital wheat gluten, chickpea flour, tons and tons of spices, a can of white beans, which my phone is sitting on, so I can't show you guys that, some tomato paste, some Worcester sauce, however you like to pronounce it, and vegetable stock. So, yes, stay tuned. To make my seitan, I have sauteed some peppers, onions, and mushroom. That's gonna get pulsed up in the blender with the white beans, some fresh garlic. I got the tomato paste, all my spices, and the Worcester sauce. And so I'm gonna mix that all in the blender, probably add a little vegetable broth too. And this is gonna be my wet mix for my seitan. So this is what everything looks like all blended up. I put it on my puree setting in my Ninja Chef, and this is what I got. Y'all, I do not use measurements. I just kind of add in whatever feels right till I get the consistency that I'm looking for. Simple as that. In this bowl, I have about 2 cups of the Vital wheat gluten and maybe half a cup of chickpea flour. I'm gonna add the wet mix to it. Mix everything together until I get a nice dough-like consistency, which I will show you guys once I achieve that consistency. And I'm just kneading it all with my hands to get it to how I want it to be. I forgot to mention, I also added rosemary and thyme. I'm just going to keep kneading this up until it shapes into the dough consistency that I need. If I have to add more Vital wheat gluten, I'll do that. If I have to add more liquid, I'll do that. But I'll show y'all when it's close to being done. It already smells like a steak, which is crazy. But yeah, let me keep kneading. This is what your seitan should look like when it is done. You don't want it to be sticky at all, because if it is too wet, when you go to the next step, which is to boil it in some veggie broth with a bunch of seasonings, if your seitan is too wet, it will stick to the bottom. Trust me, I have messed up some seitan and it is such a depressing feeling. So anyway, I'm going to let this boil, let this come to a boil. Like I said, it's got green onions, veggie broth, some seasonings, and I even added a little more of the Worcester sauce to it. But I'm going to break the loaf up into pieces and boil it for probably about like 30 to 45 minutes. I added some chickpea flour to the cutting board, and I cut it in half so far, but I'm just gonna cut the loaf into like the size pieces that I think I want the steaks to be in. This is probably gonna give me at least 6 steaks, maybe more, because I ended up making more because I ended up adding a whole lot more vital wheat gluten as I was cooking, or as I was kneading it all together. So yeah, I got a lot more than I anticipated. But anyway, so I'm going to move these to the side. You see I have my one piece. If I need to add a little more chickpea flour, I will. These are going to be some big steaks. I think I'm probably going to make them smaller, but we'll see. Because remember, I got to fry these too. Add a little more chickpea flour. And I use chickpea flour because since this is already a lot of gluten in this meal, why not just use a gluten-free flour? Because you don't want to OD, you know what I'm saying? So this is about the size of my steak, about the size of a hand, and I'm going to do all of my steaks like this and then prepare to boil them. Now that my broth has come to a boil, here are all my steaks, and I'm just going to toss them right on in. This is gonna cook for about, like I said, maybe 40 minutes. Bring the heat down. Before I get too deep into the recipe, I do want to throw out there that I did get inspired to make this recipe by GhettoVegans on YouTube. They have the most bomb channel, and they're always showing like amazing recipes, and I try out a lot of their recipes. So I did get the inspiration for this recipe from them, as well as ChewwithKisha. She's another black YouTuber that does mukbangs, and they always have my stomach growling by the time I'm done watching their videos. So, you know, I like to recreate their dishes. So shout out to them. I will leave their channels linked below as well. This is what these steaks are looking like so far. They actually are coming along better than I expected. This might be the best batch of seitan steaks I have ever made, so I'm glad I decided to vlog it today. But it smells amazing, it's looking amazing, and it's gonna boil for about another 15 minutes, and then I'm about to fry it, so stay tuned for that. This is what the steaks look like after being steamed, boiled for about 45 minutes, and I'm gonna let them completely cool off before I move to the next step of frying them. And of course, we do not waste anything, so all that broth that was boiling the steaks will be used as veggie broth in later recipes. And then I have some sitting right there that I'm going to use in the gravy that I'm about to make. Now I'm getting all of my frying prep together. So I have flax meal, which is going to be my egg replacement. So I poured a little bit of that in this flat tray. I'm going to add some water and whisk this up so it turns into an actual egg-like consistency. I'll show y'all what that looks like when it's done. I'm gonna add more water for sure. I let my egg thicken up, and I'm gonna add some almond milk to that, and that's gonna be my wet mixture. And then I have my flour with a bunch of garlic and onion powder and a little bit of paprika. That's gonna be my dry mix, and I'm gonna go back and forth coating and mixing. So I am a little bit nervous because, like I said, I have fucked up some seitan in the past, and I'm making it today, and I'm gonna fry it afterwards. So, like, step one, so far so good, but pray for me that it comes out good after I fry it. So this is, as you see, the beautiful country fried steak. Looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous.